Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hit List Podcast, the show where Pokemon nostalgia meets today's collecting culture. And for the first time in 2026, we welcome Kalen back. Kalen, it has been a while. We are glad to see you back. And as I said with Jack, we've missed you guys a lot. And Kalen, how have you been?
I have been amazing. It's been a great start to the year. Not only that, but wife and I are very excited for this year. There's some big plans, and hopefully we have some fun and enjoy 2026 together.
Well, let's dig into some of the things that are changing right now in 2026 and get into this episode.
Heck yeah, let's get to it.
Yeah, how about both of us just having all the confidence at the beginning of the year just to get smacked by not just Jack, but by everybody. Who also would have picked your wife finishing in second? And I thought she was going to win. I really did.
I thought she was going to win too. I was hoping that she would win, so we'd have first and last.
Man, that would have been funny. I didn't even think about that. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, what a successful year, and I hope to keep this going for years to come. What a great crew. And honestly, everybody that was in the league had something to do with this show. So this is also a public thank you to everybody that was involved with the show, everybody that was involved with the league, and everybody who had anything to do with either of us in 2025. We got to thank you guys. We wouldn't be here without our friends and family and, the support system that both of us have.
Yes. All the thanks to everyone out there. Hopefully your year has started out right and pretty fun. And hopefully no one blew fingers off this year.
Yeah, I do you guys do fireworks down there? Or is that like something that you just let other people do?
Oh, no. There's a lot of fireworks everywhere.
No, I meant like you personally. Do you guys launch off fireworks or
on
do you
4th of
guys
July?
just... Yeah.
We do actually on 4th
or New
of
Year's
July.
or anything.
New Year's, we do not.
No, I've never launched a firework, but if I would, I'd be here with less fingers. I guarantee it.
Hold on.
Like,
You've never, wait. No. Reel that back. You've never launched a firework?
No. Apart from like a sparkler, one of those ground things. No, absolutely.
What about the Zipsy Doodads? What is it? What does Joe Dirt say? The bung whistlers,
Oh my God. No.
None of them? Nothing.
No, I haven't done any of them. And honestly, like I'm the last person you should trust with a firework. Like I'm going to think it's a great idea to try and use it in like a fight with somebody else nearby. We can launch them at each other and see who gets...
Growing up, that was the whole fun of fireworks.
My parents would be like, absolutely not. That's a bad idea. And they were probably right. But here I am with all 10
rockets
fingers
at people and Roman candles and things like that.
See, that's the kind of childhood I could have had if my parents would have, let me do that. But I guarantee you that I would have at least 2 fingers gone. I would have done something stupid.
We're going to get you some of those fireworks.
I don't know if I trust myself now. Oh my goodness. Like maybe, but we'll do something dumb. We'll do something dumb.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's fine.
If we need to go to the ER, there's ambulances and, cars that can drive pretty fast. So you'll be fine.
Not the wee-woo wagon. Not the wee-woo wagon, man.
Oh my gosh.
But
yeah, fantasy freaking sucked.
Why did we think this was a good idea to torment Jack, though? Like, that man has a lot of knowledge when it comes to fantasy football. And we just, for honestly, all of last year, all we did was smack talk him about, how if we were in a fantasy football league, we would have just absolutely crushed you. And then here's both of us finishing last in 9th place out of 10. Oh, man. We tried.
I was 5-1. Number 1 at one point.
You were.
And then I lost 9 straight.
I didn't realize you lost 9 straight. Oh, my goodness.
Including to you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, next year is always the chance that it'll be better. And there's also that chance that I can do worse.
This year will be my year, right? Every Cowboys fan ever.
Yep. I was going to say the Browns, but
Oh no, 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 no,
no, we're not going to talk about the Browns apparently.
no. Okay, we're
But
yep. Browns not going anywhere.
no. But here we are back now in 2026. Kalen and Mike are back. We have a few things to discuss here with you guys, and one of the big things that Kalen's brought up and that he really wants to talk about, and I think it needs to be addressed, is for the first time in a while, we're really seeing a true market cool down, which we kind of saw a little bit before, but with the scarcity of product that was out, we didn't really get it to its full effect where we actually saw a amount of decrease in price. We mainly saw a increase in availability. And for anybody who knows how supply and demand work, that's the first part is the supply increases to try and meet the demand. I like to think that we're at a demand high right now and the supply is able to increase in a different way, as we talked about with Jack, where we're starting to get staggered releases, but it's working. We're starting to see some prices go down. And Kalen, what are some of the prices that you've seen that are going down, and how can we take advantage of this?
Yeah, something that we see automatically is I shouldn't say automatically. Something that we see pretty big was the Charizard UPC.
Mm-hmm.
That came out and GameStop had marked it at $200. I remember everyone saying it's what 129, 130
Yeah.
MSRP. Crazy to think that even a game store like GameStop would take that price and elevate it that much. I know that a lot of the local game stores had a good amount of stock come in. So that means that the supply was very high. We got a lot of them in right away. And we had a second wave coming in that we knew about maybe 4 weeks to 6 weeks after.
I think I
The,
think one of the things that we're starting to see here, and it happened with GameStop for sure, and I think it did happen with Target as well, where we started to see, instead of it being MSRP from retail stores, we started seeing a market price adjustment that they were starting to put on products, even in store. I remember thinking that GameStop and Target were kind of going to be the last man standing on MSRP, but even they caved eventually because, I mean, why wouldn't they? I understand that it's a market demand created by a big increase, and of course the scalpers trying to make it really high. But I mean, there's no denying the demand was there, and why wouldn't you take advantage of it? You would with anything else. It's not that I fault them for doing it, and they didn't mark it up insanely, but that you are starting to see. I think somebody sent me a link, and I've gotten messages all week about this, about the Charizard UPC at Walmart being 129. Is this real? Is this real? The answer, as far as I can tell, is yes, because I believe that is what the going market price is. And when did that Charizard UPC come out? It really hasn't been out that long.
it's been about 2 months, I believe.
Yeah. So we've been seeing things that are out for 2 months just climb in value, even the new stuff. But this is one of the first ones we're seeing that's going down. And what's funny is even when you talked about good product release availability, we saw that even with the staggered releases of the Sam's Club Prismatic Evolution boxes, where we started flooding the market. But at that point, the demand was still high enough that those Prismatic Evolution boxes still commanded a very high market price on the secondary market. This is the first time, and I'm surprised of all things that it's the Charizard UPC that's causing this. This is a great, great sign.
Yes, this has all the writing on the wall that it's coming back to kind of the way it was about 2 years ago, where you can get a booster box for what 170. You can get, maybe it elevates a little bit, maybe to 200, but at least we're not seeing those huge markups like how we did with Surging Sparks. I mean, $350 for a booster box on release. I just think that's too expensive for all of the people that should get it to get it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I really did think that this Charizard UPC was going to be a long-standing, high-priced item. I do think if you are a sealed collector, I think it's okay to bite on it now for it being a little bit more than market. or more than MSRP, because I think this is a piece that will hold up in the long run for a great piece for your collection. But if you're trying to make a quick buck on this, obviously you're not going to. This, I think, is going to go down a little bit more, but I think maybe the lowest it hits is the MSRP, and we see it at that 119 range.
And I wouldn't mind that at all.
No,
It's got
absolutely not.
a great amount of packs. It's got a great play mat. It's got those two incredible promos. But don't be surprised that maybe here in about 4 or 5 years, just like with the other Charizard UPC, that it becomes over $300.
Yeah, I think it's important that if you are a sealed collector, knowing that time, and when we have these market dips right now, this is the time to start looking at what is getting as close to MSRP as it can. And like I said, seeing that 129.99, that price doesn't phase me. That sounds pretty good. I'm probably going to work to grab one here at some point. Obviously, I don't keep anything sealed because I've got fingers that just like to rip things open. It's a curse. It really is. But
A
yeah,
lot of
this is
people have it.
it, I know. Um, but this is one of those with those promos that make it worth it to open. And like you said, it's got quite a bit of packs. It's got a nice play mat. This is a cool piece. I remember about a year ago, the last UPC that came out that was pretty readily available was that Terrapagos one. Nobody really wanted it. I'm not counting the half a year ago that had the prismatic UPC that everybody wanted, but this is a really cool one that's similar to the Terrapagos one because the Terrapagos one had a great selection of different packs. So does this one. The Terrastal UPC was just all Terrastal Festival or Prismatic Evolution, I mean. And I didn't like that one as much. One, I'm not the biggest Prismatic Evolution fan. And two, I like that we have a nice variety thing. I think the only thing that is holding it above MSRP right now is the fact that it is a Charizard UPC versus last year's Terrapagos one, which is admittedly not as popular as a Pokemon.
Yeah, you're completely right. I mean, Charizard's always going to be very popular. Not only that, but it has some pretty good packs in there. I wouldn't say it has terrible packs, but it's no 151 UPC.
Right. That is on, a special level, especially the promos in that were really incredible. I'm not the biggest fan of metal cards in general, but that Mew was really cool. But the promo Mew and Mewtwo are just unbelievable cards that I can't believe that they sat so low for so long. And I'm saying this for a reason. The Oricorio and Charizard promos that come in this new Charizard UPC are both fantastic. Um, I don't know exactly where either of them are sitting, but they will, as this market price of this UPC drops, so will the prices of those promos. When those get to a reasonable price, don't be afraid to get a couple of them and just keep them for yourself. Especially a lot of people don't do this, but for me, one of the things I do collect is sealed promos, and I'd love to have a sealed one and one open. I'd even love to have one graded. And honestly, when these get down to a good price, I'm probably going to grab a few of each of them. I don't know about you, Kalen. You probably already have a couple.
Definitely. I don't have any right now. I just think it's a little too high for myself. But the Oricorio, I think, is around $10 or $12. And the Mega Charizard EX is, I believe, 25 or 30. So that Mega Charizard is still pretty expensive. The Oricorio is not too expensive, but as more of them get ripped open and we see more supply come onto the market, I'm sure it's going to drop even more. That's probably when I would look at picking up some sealed ones and then looking for some to grade. They do not have a very good quality. So
I'm
getting
not
tens is
surprised.
going to be a little bit hard.
Um, I think that's another thing as we get into this new era of printing where they're trying to keep up and we're about to get, in a couple years, a new printing facility. I think the commonality of grading nines and tens out the gate just you send a card and you're probably going to get a 9 or 10. I think that's over. I think that's going to increase the value of nines. We've talked about for a while how PSA nines are underappreciated. I think we're going to see them increase in value, especially for the new stuff, because I just don't think it's going to do that, especially with the promos. Um, I've had a lot of even just like the random Cosmos Holo promos have really bad cuts.
Mhm. Oh yeah, there's a lot of miscuts going on. I just think that they can't keep up with the amount of demand that's there. So it causes those issues to go unchecked just because there's so much. Even though the rate doesn't go up, you can still have more just because more has been printed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I I don't think that's going to increase the value of nines overall, but I think the new stuff that's coming out is going to be harder to nine. So I think the stuff coming will be more more valuable.
Yes. I love graded cards myself. If you can get a 10 really early on, sometimes that's the best time to do it. Uh, just because it is sometimes a lot harder to get it later and later and later. I know I've gotten some sealed Charizards from the Charizard UPC, and none of them are gradable. I mean, even it was sealed. It came in sealed. I looked at it. The centering looked good. I thought the backs looked good. Nope. It was just not gradable, and sometimes that happens.
But going on the grading thing here, we did, since we've last talked, have PSA acquire yet another grading company. And as people who grade, it's starting to get a little bit concerning. Um, I don't like this. I like that they're keeping separate brands, but honestly, that makes me even more concerned. They've also said, I don't understand this part, that Collectors Universe has come out and said that they are not going to change the grading standards or procedures of Beckett. And when they acquired SGC, um, they also said that they're not going to change the way they grade or their slabs or anything, but they will use their facility to grade some PSA stuff. It's almost like they're almost leeching onto these facilities to make their grading more effective, which is fine. But I don't understand why, if you want to own this kind of part of the market and own all your competition, why would you let them stay?
Well, it could be another reason that they're giving to try and not have a monopoly, right? Because if they close down all these plants or convert them into PSA plants, it's automatically going to raise red flags. Of course, it does raise red flags whenever you buy your second biggest competitor. It's happened to several different markets where the government does come in and say, nope, you can't do that. I don't know what they're going to say with this. It's a pretty substantial buyout from one to two, and then the third being what, CGC, maybe AGS, something like that.
Yeah, right
I
now the market, I think, as like grading wise, how many volume of grading, number one is PSA, number two is CGC, number three is Beckett. So they bought their number three, but honestly, Beckett's kind of been going down for a while. I think just people don't love the slabs that much. They're bigger. Um, they're okay. I think they're okay. I'd personally, I don't know about you, I'd rather have a CGC slab. I think they look better.
Yeah,
Um,
I would too. I have multiple CGC slabs in my collection, and I have zero BGS slabs.
I am in the same way. I don't have a single Beckett, and that's not a shot against them. I think the Black Label Pristine is really cool.
Hmm.
Almost unattainable, which is also very cool. But I don't like that PSA has their hands in this now. BGS used to be kind of this gold standard of consistency for grading, not gold standard of the market, which is PSA, whether we like it or not. But the inconsistencies that have kind of been the opinion and prevailing thought when it comes to grading with PSA is concerning that now we have this, you know, consistent high-end grading company that is now also under them. It makes it feel as if they're not going to allow for tens and 10 pristines to happen next to it all the way that PSA grades. Um, but I mean, that's a down the road kind of thing, but it is a concern that I have.
Yeah, a lot of people have admitted that it kind of scares them. And I can't blame them at all. It's really hard to not be scared whenever you have the number one grading service that everyone collects, everyone loves. You know, there's been no bad things really about them for a while, and then you have a couple different things come out. For them to acquire what I see as like the premier grading company, BGS is a premier grading company. That Black Label really does put them apart from everyone else. And whenever you can get a Black Label, it is the best feeling in the world. So not only does it have people collecting for value, but it also has kind of that feeling that you can get if you do get Black Labels that you can't really get with PSA.
Right. Yeah, and they've also talked about at PSA with SGC. They were going to use those slabs and call them like the tuxedo slab or something. That didn't seem to go anywhere. But they have, it seems like they've kind of been open to the look of other slabs and incorporating that into themselves. But it doesn't take out the uniqueness of a BGS, like you said, a Black Label, or even the fact that a 10 from BGS is a different grade. It is not a gem mint, but it is pristine. And then the 9.5 is BGS's gem mint. That there's a lot of questions that are going into this, and honestly, I'm not a huge fan of what's happening. I can't change it, obviously, but it's interesting to see where this is going to go for graders.
I'm just going to wait and see. I'm going to hold off and
Yeah,
see. So,
and that's all we can do. That's all we can really do for now. But it is something that I just wanted to address because it is something that's been in the news and we haven't talked about it. It's just this continues to get more and more concerning. And I think the way that this is happening with a lot of people being invested in grading, the chance of another grading company, regardless, we've already seen the downfall of Tag starting and then picking back up, that they're okay, and then downfall. It's inconsistent, and that's not what you want from if you're going to invest in it. So these people are pushing to keep PSA at the top, and we're just going to see that until PSA does something to make themselves fail, because this market is never going to change away from them. I'm just very confused as to what their plan to not be a monopoly here. They've already cornered the market. Now why buy it? It's just, it's an odd choice and a great way to put yourself on the radar.
it's also just an odd choice at this time because everyone is talking about cards. I mean, there is so many people talking about trading cards, whether it be Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh even. I mean, there is so much being talked about that you now want a spotlight on you.
Right. Especially with the grading increasing on two of these new card games, specifically with One Piece and Lorcana being they're really getting into the grading game big time. I know as an AGS person myself, I get to see the live feed and everything, and I'm seeing more and more One Piece and Lorcana cards going through the grading system. And I think that's great that people are collecting and grading this artwork, because the artwork on both sets is incredible. But that does add more workload to what they already have, and they're already behind. So why would you go out acquiring more companies and saying, oh, we're just going to keep them the same, when you already are understaffed as well? You can just take the staff and apply that to PSA as well. And it's just, there's a lot of confusing things going on with grading. And even with PSA buying Beckett, if you like Beckett, still grade with them. PSA did buy SGC a couple years ago, just so everybody knows. So they are part of Collector's Universe. You can still grade with them. They're still the same price. If you still like their slabs, still do it. But the important thing is, if you want to grade your cards, just grade one that you like the way it looks. Stop worrying about the value and just understand that we're seeing PSA trying to essentially make a monopoly here, it seems. I don't know if it's intentional. I don't know why you would do that intentionally, because that's just going to hurt yourself. But we might see a change here where some of these grading companies that you do like are being phased out. But if they're here and you like them, please still use them. They're still great companies, and they're still great looking slabs that are very different from everything else.
And don't forget, you still have so many options. Don't get tunnel vision with them saying, hey, we're buying Beckett. This is how it's going to be. You have so many more options out there.
Absolutely. Just if you are a grader, don't give up on it. Just, I know that PSA they are what they are.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just another thing we got to deal with. And be patient.
They're like Disney.
We'll make it
you
through
can't
like we
deny
always
them.
do.
You can't deny them, but you can still go watch something else.
Speaking of, you just sent out a nice order yourself, didn't you?
I did. Yes, I put 8 cards together, and then I also submitted with Connor, someone I work with. He also submitted 1 Pokemon card and 7 One Piece cards.
Awesome. What was the one Pokemon card he submitted?
Silvally GX alternate art from Cosmic Eclipse.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was
Very,
a
very
really,
nice
really cool card. Yeah. But I submitted multiple Gengars, including the first edition Sabrina's Gengar Holo, the Mega Gengar EX from Mega Dream, the SAR, not the Mega Attack Rare, Gengar EX XY promo, not the Mega Shiny, but the kind of bubble one. I sent off a Leafeon VMAX alternate art, and a few other cards. So I'm excited to see what they're going to get. I'm hopeful for some of the grades. The other ones, I'm kind of like, I wanted to go the opposite way. So
yeah, sometimes like it gets a little awkward when you have cards that you want graded and you want to have them, protected, but they're in that like 3 to 7 range, or we'll say 2 to 7 range, where it's really just, I don't know. I've never gotten a 2 or a 3. The lowest I've ever gotten when grading friends cards or my own is a 4, which is useless.
I've gotten a 1.
I know Kalen managed to get a 1 on a banger of a card too.
Yeah. Charizard Reverse Holo from Legendary Collection.
And that is Legendary Collection is just a set that I don't talk about enough because I didn't experience it. But whoever doesn't know, take a look at some Legendary Collection reverse cards. They have this firework pattern on them. They are really cool. And the Charizard itself, of course, is the cream of the crop of that set. And it's pretty special for him to have a 1.
I still like Gengar better. I'm sorry.
What are we going to do with this guy?
I mean, I'm legitimately wearing a Halloween Gengar shirt.
He loves Gengar, everybody. In case anybody didn't know, this man is a Gengar fan. And if he could be a Gengar, he would be.
I do have my Gengar onesie, so yes, I can be.
Oh, wait. He is. When he goes to card shows, if you ever see him, look for the man in the Gengar onesie. It's probably him. If it's not him, it's an imposter, and just tackle that person. No, don't do that.
But don't do that. Could you imagine someone coming up? You're not Kalen.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, let's not encourage that. But if you do happen to see somebody that's in a Gengar onesie, go see him. It might be Kalen. You never know.
Yeah, come say hi.
We'll talk about the new set yet because I don't have enough information about it. It just dropped like 4 hours ago.
Yeah, I don't.
I know the featured cards, and I'm not happy about it.
Well, I'm still having an issue that they decided to put the Ionos watch roll in there.
Yeah, That should have stayed a Japanese promo.
I completely agree.
But the fact that Mega Starmie exists is ridiculous.
It haunts my
Ugh.
dreams.
Eh, yeah, you're not
I
wrong.
can't see the Patrick meme without it just
Well, it
popping in
kind
my
of
head.
just is the Patrick meme. Like, it's almost like they did it on purpose to just mess with us. Like, I don't really
So
know
bad.
what could have been
So
better, but not that, I don't know, maybe another Staryu on the back? Like, anything but this. I mean,
I mean, even added some more of Staryu's points, it would at
yeah,
least look
sure.
better.
Why knees and legs?
I don't know. It's so weird. But Drampa's Mega.
I like Drampus Mega. I think Drampus Mega
It's
was well done.
sick.
Um, from it going from like kind of a dream feel to a nightmare feel. I
Hmm.
I think that's really awesome. Really excited to see what they do with that when they get it out.
Anyway,
Like
yeah,
Jax Jax
some
was
megas are just absolutely terrible. Um, I'm looking at you for alligator. Okay, I'm sorry, but
yeah, the I think we can all we're going to get flack for this because I know there's a couple people that have definitely sent me cards to say I wish this was real. Um but the mega for alligator is bad. It's a giant totodile. Which is funny, but it's not good.
well, like it looks
Honestly,
cool whenever it has his mouth closed. Like that's pretty cool. And then it opens up and you're like, "Oh no, bro.
yeah,
You
this
look like
is
a uvula."
I didn't think of it like that, but that's funny. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, it kind of
It's
does.
bad. It's bad.
I'm not a huge fan of Mega Meganium either.
It's okay.
Um, it's just okay. And honestly, what's really funny to me is that they picked Meganium to begin with because Meganium is not a popular Pokemon at all. And to give it a Mega and for the Mega to kind of be, I don't want to say underwhelming, but it's pretty underwhelming. It just got more flowers, and I don't know why they needed to do that, but that didn't work for me either. The only starter that I really liked that came from this was I kind of like Mega Embor.
I love Mega Embor. I
That
love
thing's
shiny
sick.
Mega Embor too.
Shiny Mega Embor is awesome,
So cool.
and that's one of the things that I'm a little bit disappointed that we haven't seen yet from this Mega era is that we are not seeing any form of shiny Pokemon, and there are some shinies that are megas that would be really awesome to have. And I don't know about you, but it's starting to look like we're not going to have a set that has them. Um, because we're seeing that shinies are in specialty sets that are around the holiday season. And we just had this Mega Dream and they're not there. Um,
I think that they're still going to make one. I think it's going to be near the end block of it. Kind of like how they did it with Shining Fates.
I would hope so, but um, yeah, Mega Shinies would be really, really awesome. Um, I would love to have a one. I want a Mega Metagross shiny card that's not a full art. Like I want a real, SIR Mega
Hmm.
Metagross. I'd love to have Mega Steelix. I'd love to have. There's a lot of Mega Sizor would be cool. I obviously like Steel type Pokemon, so
No, really.
no, really. But
I
yeah,
honestly would think that they're trying to come up with some new megas that they haven't released yet that they're going to release with that set. So that way it's like one of the only sets that you can get it from.
that would be really cool. I mean, at this point, you'd of course have the new ones that showed up in ZA so far, but I'd like to see a couple that are some throwbacks, but
I
I
think they're
could
going to
see them doing
be,
that.
I think there's going to be one more DLC.
I will say that was interesting that they, when the game came out, said, "Hey, we got this many DLCs coming out." For them to essentially limit themselves is odd. But speaking of the games, it is very likely that we're going to get a announcement of Gen 10 coming here soon.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I think I am as well. Is there a region that you'd love to see them go to? We have a possible leaked name. I think we've seen it and we kind of talked about it a little bit with I think it's Winds and Waves.
Yes.
Um, and if
I
that
would
is the actual,
love to see them go to like Greece.
yeah, I honestly, when I was thinking Winds and Waves, I was thinking Greece as well, or at least just Mediterranean in general.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, I think that would be really cool. I think that would be a great addition. It would be pretty cool to have like a Santorini themed area. I think Santorini is a beautiful area, one of the places I'd love to go. If you could, of course, incorporate some Spanish and Italian culture into there as well, I think that's awesome. I like that what they've been doing over the past few generations of including real world culture into the Pokemon world, where Sword and Shield had a lot of British culture and Scottish culture thrown in there. And of course, with the Alola region, where you had the Pacific Island theme, whether it be Hawaii or Samoa or any of that area, where it's really a good theming. I can't wait to see what they do next. And I really do hope this Winds and Waves is like we've talked about, this Mediterranean theme. That would be awesome.
Yeah, but I do want to take a second and think we're done with Scarlet Violet.
We
We've
are.
been done for two sets now. It still doesn't feel real to me.
It doesn't, and I think part of that is we are done with Scarlet and Violet. Yes, the name has changed to the Mega Evolution era, but I think when you look at the previous era where we had a Legends game come out with Legends Arceus, we did not switch off of Sword and Shield being the branding. So I think that's part of why this feels like it's so short of an era. But this time it truly is. It is, we are out. There is no going back. This is Mega only. And I actually like the way they're doing this. But with the success of Mega games being this in between, or sorry, not Mega, Legends games being this in between zone for Pokemon, do you think that we're going to see another Legends game after this? I don't see any reason why not.
Well, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll come out with one or two more games that include Eevee or Pikachu or maybe Meowth. I would love to see that. I
Yeah,
think that they're
yeah,
definitely going to come out with that, and then they're going to come out with another Legends game.
right. Um, And I think when you have these Legends games being full games that are out there, that gives this a new break in the sets where we don't have as long of blocks of Scarlet and Violet era, Sword and Shield era, because there's that extra game in between that does break this up to have a little bit smaller of blocks. Um, I don't hate that because I'm starting to see in other collecting hobbies, specifically Magic the Gathering, the release schedule of new stuff is getting ridiculous. And Pokemon was kind of starting to lean in that direction where we were getting almost too many sets. We've talked about this where we almost felt whiplash for a while there, where it was essentially Stellar Crown. Right after that, we got the two sets that made up Surging Sparks in Japanese, and then immediately after Surging Sparks. We haven't really changed the pace from a year ago, where we had a September set come out with Mega Evolutions, and then a November set come out with Phantasmal. But for some reason, this just feels a little different. And I don't know if that's because of just supply being available
I think
or
it's more
not. But
because we're seeing a longer release time before we see Ascendant Heroes from Mega Dream. And not only that, but we also know that ETBs are going to be delayed and booster bundles are going to be delayed. So that means we're not going to see as much product as we want to see until months and months after we've already seen the Japanese set.
right, and it's interesting to me, and we talked about this a little bit with Jack, where they're putting out the 3-pack blisters because that's all they really have available. The big release on release day, for as long as I can remember, is ETBs. To not offer that, I'm kind of surprised they're not pushing the whole thing back, because all releasing 3-pack blisters is going to do is really going to cause a spike in price and lack in availability. 3-pack blisters are not something typically people want. Um, this is odd. This is very
I
odd to
think
me.
people have finally gotten to the point that they are willing to be more patient until it comes to a price that they want it to be. I mean, we've really have seen that with the Charizard EX UPCs.
It's interesting for us to have a release that's technically happening without really happening. I mean, 3-pack blisters isn't going to, nobody's going to have a lot of product. So like you said, the true release, I think, where people feel as if it's an actual release, is going to be when those ETBs and booster bundles hit. So I will caution all of our listeners here. This seems really obvious, but we need to pound this in your head. When we start seeing Mega Dreams counterpart Ascended Heroes come out, the English version of these cards is going to be absolutely insane. There is no reason to buy these singles for a while, because as we just said, if you can be patient, here come the ETBs, here come the booster bundles, and here comes a decrease in price eventually. But what I worry about is that initial high price going to be causing a really high demand of people that really want this set, because it is a really good set, and I know a lot of people don't collect Japanese.
Yes, it's going to be a massive set as well. So those prices are also going to be reflective on the amount of supply that we have. We're not going to have as much as we really think, because there's going to be so many hits that we're kind of grasping at straws to see what we can really get from the set before it actually releases with those ETBs and booster bundles.
Right, we'll get a general idea, but I'm interested to see if we're going to see another black and white effect here, where or prismatic, um, where we have Pokeball and other reverse hollows that are not common in English. We already see in Japanese that we have some different ball hollows. We've got some energy reverses. Uh, For a while there, we had talked about how we really enjoyed seeing the different types of reverses available in English. This time, I'm actually kind of hoping we don't. I'm hoping just for a regular release of a set. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we got ball hollows and other reverse hollows forever now.
Now, I do really love the Team Rockets reverse hollow.
Those are cool, but
I
I
love
almost would have
those.
wished those could have came out as like a promo. There's not that many.
That's fair. That's actually, I didn't even think about that. Do a whole
Like,
Team Rocket box.
yeah, why don't we just have those be some kind of promotional thing, rather than put them in the set? Because the way I look at it, and Pokemon wants things to be hits, so they kind of make you think that things are hits. They did a good job at doing that with the prismatic Pokeball reverses. That, I mean, eventually we all started saying those aren't hits. They look excellent. They're textured. They look good. Looking back on them now, I actually do like them a lot. But these non-textured mirror style reverse hollows, there's no way you can phrase that to me that that's ever going to be a hit.
I honestly don't think it ever will be. I mean, the Master Balls, yeah, they're kind of a hit, but it really depends on what you get.
So yeah, we'll see. I'm kind of hoping that the English doesn't keep doing this, following the Japanese. I like things that are exclusive. We talked a while ago about how we like having Japanese or Chinese or any foreign language having an exclusive card that stays there. I mean, we just mentioned today that the chance of the Iono's Watch Roll coming into English, and we thought for sure that was going to stay there. We saw not too long ago these promos of Wooper and Meowth that ended up showing up in Phantasmal Flames. We thought for so long they wouldn't. But I really like the era of having some special cards that are only available in another language.
Yeah, I completely agree. Not only does it make it hold better value over time, but it also allows you to kind of get something very unique.
Absolutely.
So I'm just really excited to see what they're going to do with some more of those Chinese sets, just because they have so many exclusives in there, as well as maybe what they'll bring to Japanese that'll be exclusive there. I know that they have all of the Pikachus that release whenever the Pokemon Center comes out there. I love that. It's awesome. I just hope that they have one or two left for those sets that they release throughout the year.
Absolutely. And hopefully we see the re-increase of exclusives and they just keep going. But this is, we're losing too many that were Japanese exclusives, and that's bothering me a little bit. That's hopefully that comes to a stop.
Yep, completely agree. Do you want to move on to what card we choose? I don't think I've seen that one yet.
It's it's in a glass case for a reason.
Oh, not Pop Series 2.
Yeah, hold on. There's a nice swirl right by his head.
Oh, I see it. Yep. Right by the hair.
This is a rare card. I can't believe I found this thing. This was in a binder. I got this for I want to say it was $9.
$9 and it's a 9.5?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful swirl.
Yeah. This is a cool card. This is one of my favorite cards I have in my collection.
And you graded it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I remember getting it and I didn't know anything about it. So
Okay. I think that we have explained Pop Series before. If you guys don't know, it's just the promotional series that they did for play cards for whenever you played the actual TCG in person. You got packs that you ripped, and they usually contain 3 cards. One of those could be a hollow, could not. It's just kind of like
right. And this card actually does have a non-hollow version as well. Let me see if I can get this focused pretty well. There we go.
So cool.
But this is not a card I see very often. I'd found this at a local card store and I didn't know what it was. It was just in one of the binders. I just thought, wow, that was really cool. I'm going to be honest with you. The way I've looked at it, and since this was done with AGS, I can see the scans of it and everything. This is a very possible regrade.
Really?
Yes. I'm not thrilled with the grade that this got. I think there is a chance, and it is I'm serious. This is a chance that PSA 10s it.
Okay, so are you going to do your first slab cracking video?
Last slab I cracked on my own, I destroyed the card. So I don't know what I'm going to do. It honestly, it's a 9.5.
Hey,
It's got
in March when we come up.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a live video then and we can show it. But this is to me a really valuable card just because it's not one I see very often. If this card were to 10 with PSA, the pop is insanely low. Yeah, I looked it up. It's Pop Series 2, card number 3, hollow.
Number 3. First off, great price. Holy crap. $800 and a 10? Heck, we're going to say 5 years. There's been 2 sales. If it's in a 9, it's like 125 bucks. Jeez, Big Mike.
There are 479 10s
of that card.
Yes. There are only 748 9s. The fact that there's under 1,000 9s is crazy to me. This is just not a card this is an era of Pokemon that it wasn't super popular in 2005. And for this to be in this kind of condition, it was one of those, it was a no-brainer buy. I don't know what this card is worth raw, but I think it's more than $9.
Yeah, definitely more than $9.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting card. It's one of those ones that I have in my collection. I have it right next to an odd Suicune that I have, that I also graded myself.
Very
that
nice.
one has an insanely low population. But regardless, it's just, I don't know. I like the 3 legendary dogs quite a bit, and I like the 3 legendary birds.
There you go. That's all you need to, explain.
But what is your card for this week?
My card is a Japanese exclusive, like we would love to talk about. The Togepi Cleffa Igglybuff. This is the full art in Japanese. This is a Japanese exclusive card. We did get the regular GX out of Cosmic Eclipse, and then the alternate art out of the Small But Mighty box. Wifey and I actually got our Small But Mighty promo graded, came back at 10. So to celebrate that, I bought her this one. So she has all three of them now.
So that one never came to English and it was just a full art. That's pretty cool. I like that. Is that one you'd consider grading, or is that one just gonna stay like that?
It's probably just going to stay like this. It's a little off center, so I could submit it when I want to, but I think that would just be a personal grade for myself and wifey.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. It's not going to leave the collection. It got here, and she said, "Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I love it." And I was like, "Cool. That's yours."
It's yours forever.
Yep, exactly.
So hopefully you guys can feel a little bit more comfortable as we see what's coming up here. Take some advantage of this slight dip in the market. Get those Charizard UPCs when you get a chance to see them. And I don't know about you, Kalen, but I'm really hoping to start to see some of this product show back up on, some Target shelves, and more importantly than anything else with this market dip and hopefully increase in availability, some of the, younger crowd in here, the kids, the reason this all started, being able to get product and enjoy this again.
I completely agree. I hope that this means that we can see as much product as we want ripped, and maybe even get some discounts off of MSRP. Now, I'm not going to be insane and say I hope it's half MSRP or anything. No, 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 no. I just hope that it's reduced to the point where everyone can get some.
Hopefully that time comes sooner than later, and I think we're starting to see the steps in the right direction, so we can be hopeful. So we will see you guys next week. Hope you guys have a wonderful week, and just enjoy what we have going on. Enjoy the cards you have, and maybe find one more new piece for your collection that's maybe a little unexpected.
And don't forget to check out those Japanese exclusives. This has been the Hit List Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe. Be kind to someone. And we'll see you on the next one.